Part 30. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 291. These words repeated themselves countless times in John Killen's mind. Speaking of it today, I feel a sense of relief that I have finally been released from something I had suppressed for a long time. If he can't see Cheng Ling, he will be concerned, miss and look forward to their meeting. It can be seen that when he sees Cheng Ling, every minute he spends with her, he will fall in love with her even more. Only then did he realize that he and his father had the same attitude when it came to relationships. There is a moth-like determination. John Killen had thought about it. If Cheng Ling resolutely rejected him, he would retreat to the safety line and never disturb her again. Just now in the alley, he held Cheng Ling's hand, as if he was holding the whole world. Like a circle with half missing, it finally found its other half. Holding her hand, he walked with ease. There was an overwhelming sense of intense happiness. At this moment, he held her hand again. Feeling her warmth in the palm of my hand, I felt a sense of comfort that what was missing was perfectly replenished. Cheng Ling never pulled back his hand. John Killen finally looked away from their intertwined hands and raised his eyes to look at her. Cheng Ling's eyes were extremely gentle, and the tiny lights reflected in her dark pupils were like a Milky Way filled with stars. She smiled and said, "You can come after me, Brother Lan. I've been waiting for you, Brother Lan. I hope you can keep your promise this time and marry me as soon as possible. I don't want Hong Zhuang Shili. I only want you." John Killen's anxious heart was relieved. She said she could give herself a chance. She didn't refuse. And, she is smiling. Cheng Ling overturned all the inherent concepts he had about girls. She had no connection with being fragile and pitiful. She is a capital person, standing firmly between heaven and earth. Such openness, free and bright, made him long to stand side by side with her. "Then can you tell me, what type do you like?" John Killen looked at her seriously. "Is it Bai Muchuan's kind, or Yan Bin's kind?" Cheng Ling was stunned for a moment, then reacted immediately and said with a smile, "Have you checked my circle of friends?" John Killen didn't smile. He looked at Cheng Ling seriously. Cheng Ling shook John Killen's hand slightly and said, "I like your type now." His palm was large and dry, with distinct finger bones, and he wrapped her hand in it preciously. But she didn't use excessive force. She could break free immediately if she wanted to. Brother Lan also said that he was not gentle. He was already so gentle. Cheng Ling felt very soft. "You too, the food is served." The fat boss's voice sounded outside the door curtain. John Killen let go of Cheng Ling's hand. However, Cheng Ling exerted a little force, and the two of them kept their hands together. John Killen was stunned for a moment, then held her hand tightly. "And it works harder and more tightly than before." "Come in," Cheng Ling said loudly. The fat boss opened the curtain. At a glance, he saw the hands of Cheng Ling and John Killen intertwined on the table, and he screamed like a groundhog in his heart. "Ah! Big sister! Brother Xiaolan! They have a situation. Am I the first to know? Ah! Will the eldest sister be silenced? Forget it, silence is worth it. Although I feel sad, the two of them look so good together." Cheng Ling took John Killen's hand and moved to the table, freeing up the space in the middle of the table. With a calm look on her face, she said to the fat boss, "Thank you for serving the food." The fat boss nodded and tried his best to ignore the two people holding hands together on the table, but I couldn't do it. He placed the dishes on the table and tried his best to speak politely, "Be careful not to get burned. These are garlic grilled oysters, these are cheese baked oysters, these are 5 flavors of grilled chicken wings, and lamb skewers, beef skewers, please use it slowly." The tips of John Killen's ears turned red. His heart was pounding at the moment, but Cheng Ling looked calm. "Let's have some more iced drinks, Brother Lan, what do you want to drink? I'll drink with you. John Killen tried to stay calm. The fat boss's eyes were opened. One thing brings down another thing. Brother Xiaolan usually always looks cold and indifferent, but now in front of the eldest sister, he is like a little daughter-in-law. Tisk tisk tisk. I want ice coke, Chen Ling said, please give me 2 cans of ice coke. The fat boss waved his hands repeatedly, I'm afraid I can't do ice coke. Chen Ling and John Killen looked at the boss together. The fat boss said, sister, you can drink it, brother Xiaolan, forget it. Coke kills sperm. John Killen's jawline tightened instantly, and his eyes seemed to be electrified. He was simply convinced. Spermicide. No one else has caught up with me, and I haven't even figured out my horoscope yet. Why do you kill sperm and sperm? Can you please pay attention when you speak? Otherwise Chen Ling would think he was such a casual person. Unexpectedly, Chen Ling frowned and said seriously, that's really not drinkable. Then give Brother Lan some ice Sprite, ice orange juice or something like that. Thank you boss for reminding me. The fat boss looked at John Killen with a look of hatred on his face, turned around and walked out. Chen Ling looked at John Killen. Thousands of expressions flashed across his face, including confusion, and embarrassment. Chen Ling finally couldn't help it anymore and chuckled. Brother Lan, why are you still so funny? Chen Ling smiled and rolled his eyes. You. John Killen had no resistance to the naughty Chen Ling. The next moment, Chen Ling suddenly approached his face and gently sprayed her breath on his cheek. She said, Brother Lan, how are you going to let me try whether you are suitable to be a boyfriend? Chen Ling's facial features are sharp, the tail of her eyes is very long, and she looks at people with a smile and a half-teasing look, which can give the other party a strong visual impact and temptation. Try, John Killen stuttered, try, what? The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 292. Chen Ling's breath was like blue, and his eyes were so charming that they could almost drip with water. John Killen's face really turned red this time, and all the muscles in his body tensed unconsciously. He looked at her red lips so close, feeling that his mouth was dry and his Adam's apple rolled slightly. The most terrible thing was that Chen Ling gently scratched his palm with her fingers. John Killen's scalp was numb. Chen Ling's voice, as sweet as a bamboo flute, echoed in his mind, give it a try. Whatever you try, I listen to you. John Killen's voice was hoarse, and his usually cold and indifferent black eyes were filled with strong emotions. Chen Ling smiled playfully and pretended to be surprised, Brother Lan, why is your face so red? John Killen rubbed the back of her delicate hand with his slightly rough thumb. No words were spoken. Brother Lan, where are you thinking? When I say try, of course I mean, try to see if you are gentle and considerate enough, try to see if you are loyal or not, try to see if our interests and hobbies are consistent. I was played by her again. John Killen lost all strength in an instant and buried his face in the other elbow. It's like a roller coaster of emotions. Is this what pursuing a girl feels like? My mood was like a kite, and the string of the kite was in Chen Ling's hand. She can make his mood fly thousands of miles into the sky, or make his mood cross the electric layer. If she is willing, she can also make his mood fall into the abyss. He leaned on the table and raised one eye from his elbow to look at her. Chen Ling's waist is straight and her neck is not stretched forward. She is so relaxed no matter what time she is, making people feel happy. But now, after John Killen expressed his feelings, Chen Ling treated him differently than before. Before, she was calm, wise, down to earth and reliable. Now, she feels a little less distanced, a little more playful, a little more sultry. What to do? I really like Chen Ling. The fat boss cleared his throat outside and stamped his feet heavily. I'm bringing you drinks. Jonkillen, there is no need for so many steps of warning. Is it possible that they could do something shameful in such a small place? Come in, Cheng Ling said. The fat boss opened the curtain and immediately looked at their hands. The two people's hands are still holding each other. Oh yeah. The fat boss took a second look at the eldest sister's lips. What the hell? It's still intact, with no traces of bites. Brother Xiaolan, you are so anxious. I really want to provide head massage service. The fat boss held the tray with his other hand and poured the iced drink into the glass with ice cubes and a lemon slice inserted. He placed the cup of Coke next to Cheng Ling and the cup of orange juice next to Jonkillen. Then, the fat boss put away the tray. We also provide free chewing gum and disposable single-pack mouthwash. Brother Xiaolan, if you want it, I will get it for you. Jonkillen was stunned, then opened his mouth and said, I haven't eaten yet, what kind of mouthwash do I want? Cheng Ling laughed softly. Only then did Jonkillen react. Holy shit. He glared at the fat boss fiercely, you. The fat boss was not afraid at all. He even shook his head very obviously and sighed, sister, this person is unethical. I will never bother you two again. I'm treating you today. If it's not enough, just scan the QR code with your phone to add more food. You two can enjoy it slowly. Jonkillen was glared at by the fat boss again with his hateful eyes. No, do you need to spell it out so clearly that it won't disturb us? Also, can you get out of here quickly? The fat boss bowed, turned around and went out. Cheng Ling had had enough teasing. She felt a little hungry after smelling the barbecue smell. She withdrew her hand and said, Brother Lan, eat it. It won't taste good when it's cold. Jonkillen stood up suddenly, put one hand on the table, leaned forward slightly, and bent down to get close to Cheng Ling's face. The other hand gently lifted her chin, looked at her eyes, then at her plump and small red lips, and closed her eyes. He gently rubbed Cheng Ling's lips with his lips. This kiss is instant. Leave her lips and look at her expression. A trace of surprise and shyness flashed through Cheng Ling's watery eyes. It turns out that she can be shy too. Then would she be like him, with her heartbeat completely out of rhythm at this moment? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 293. I used to be my childhood sweetheart with Brother Lan. I taught him swordsmanship step by step, taught me how to shoot bows and arrows, snuggled into his arms to keep warm, held hands and looked up at the stars while talking about the court situation. Therefore, holding hands and hugging is something Cheng Ling has long been accustomed to. But kissing was something that had never happened before. This kiss was not strictly a kiss, it was just lip to lip, and it lasted less than a second. But Cheng Ling's heart skipped 2 beats. When Jonkillen came over to kiss him, Cheng Ling didn't close his eyes. She looked at his closed eyes, and his long eyelashes like black crow feathers trembled slightly, casting a small shadow under the light from above. The bridge of his nose has smooth lines and is as straight as the backbone of a snow-capped peak. Brother Lan obviously has a charming face, but he always gives people a cold and ascetic feeling. However, at this moment, his aloofness and abstinence were gone. Bai Porcelain's face was stained with blush, and her slightly peach blossom eyes were twinkling. The moment his lips touched, Cheng Ling felt his blood boiling slightly, and all his nerves were concentrated on his lips, amplifying the moment of joyful contact infinitely. His lips were dry and soft, and his breath was fresh and clean. After experiencing thousands of mountains and rivers, I still love him the most when I return. Just love him. She has met so many people, but only Brother Lan has never changed. He is sober, calm, spotless, and gentle with himself. In front of Jonkillen, she couldn't help but want to tease him and seduce him. Like a kitten, petted here and there. Then she watched him look at her helplessly and dotingly, helpless. Yuji Sakamoto once said, "Confessions are for children, adults please seduce directly." The first step in seduction is to abandon humanity. Basically there are 3 routines. Become a cat, become a tiger, become to a wet dog. Brother Ian's hand was still supporting the table, and his other finger was still hooking her delicate chin. Brother Lan is looking at her seriously. His expression was one of nervousness and inquiry. Chen Ling could even hear his beating heart. Chen Ling rolled his eyes and pursed his lips. "Brother Lan, is this an appetizer before the meal?" Jonkillen raised his thumb, gently rubbed her lips, and said almost sighing, "Chen Ling, stop playing with me, I really can't stand it." His thumb had a unique rough feeling as he rubbed her plump lips, causing her to tremble. Those who play with fire burn themselves. Chen Ling heard Jonkillen's deep and hoarse voice that was completely different from usual, which made her ears turn red. Chen Ling immediately put away his provocative expression and returned to a serious expression. If he really keeps playing, Brother Lan might turn into a tiger. In the past, due to the strict etiquette and laws, Brother Lan would not do anything beyond the rules. No matter how she teased him, he would never cross the line of etiquette and justice. But now, it's 2023. Not bound by old dogmas and etiquette. Chen Ling wasn't ready for this yet. At this time, Jonkillen's hand left her chin, raised it, and gently touched her hair. He sat back in his seat. Jonkillen grabbed the cold orange juice and drank half a glass of it, but the hot blood in his heart was not poured down. It was so strange. Just touching their lips, Jonkillen felt a little tipsy. He couldn't help but want to go a little more extreme and be a little bolder. "Brother Lan, let's eat some skewers. Didn't you say you were hungry?" Chen Ling handed over a meat skewer in a polite manner. Jonkillen reached out to take it, but he paid attention and was careful not to touch her hand. His fragile nerves could no longer withstand the slightest temptation. Jonkillen couldn't tell whether the meat skewers were salty or bland, fragrant or spicy. Chen Ling on the side also obediently picked up the chicken wings and started eating them. "Brother Lan, these grilled wings are really delicious." Chen Ling took a bite and immediately praised it. She smiled arrogantly again, "However, it's not as delicious as the one I made. Next time I'll roast chicken wings for you, okay? Not just chicken wings. She will cook lots of delicious food for him." The soul travels through the 18th line. The female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 294. Jonkillen has heard countless times that Chen Ling is a good cook. But he has never tasted anything she cooks. Hearing that Chen Ling is going to make him grilled wings, Jonkillen is eager for it. Of course, Jonkillen nodded, with a little dissatisfaction in his expectant tone. "I have heard Kiun praise your cooking skills, and my ears are calloused. I don't know if it's true or not. I forgot to tell you that my cooking skills are enough to teach at the French Le Cordon Bleu Culinary School." Chen Ling raised her nose with a little pride. "As long as you can name the dish, I can make it for you. And it will definitely subvert your previous cognition." After saying that, she clapped her hands. "Let's eat now." Jonkillen nodded. He took a breath secretly to calm his mind. Chen Ling said to eat the skewers seriously, so she ate the skewers seriously. She stopped when she saw the good results. For Brother Lan, who had no memories of the past, their progress was already very fast. Although she felt it was not enough. However, Brother Lan took her seriously, expressed his feelings, and made it clear that he wanted to pursue her, not to establish a relationship. This is the greatest treasure for her and this relationship. Taking it slow is a special sincerity. This world is too fast. Some people flirt in the morning, get married in the afternoon, and get divorced after a quarrel a few days later. But there are also people who are willing to slow down and savor it bit by bit even though they like it. John Killen did not bury his head in eating. He would hand her a napkin at the right time to help her dig out the oyster meat or clean up the garbage piled in front of her. Moreover, he was using his eyes to carefully and frequently record Chen Ling's every move, every frown and smile. The occasional glances between the two, the hands that accidentally touched, and the corners of the mouth that could not be suppressed. He cherished and engraved them in his memory. John Killen had a subtle feeling, he must take the matter of accompanying Chen Ling for dinner seriously. It seemed that he had missed this matter countless times. This time, he didn't dare to blink, and his breathing was very light, for fear of disturbing this happy time. After the two finished their meal, they called the fat boss to settle the bill. The fat boss waved his hands repeatedly. Big sister, Xiao Lan, I've said it before, this meal is my treat. Moreover, my gains today cannot be simply measured by money. As he said that, his eyes were full of stars. Woo, big sister's dog food smells so good. Thank you, boss. The skewers are well grilled. Chen Ling gave a thumbs up, and she waved her hand, motioning the boss to come forward. The fat boss was stunned and came over. Chen Ling whispered, there is a problem with the ratio and order of the dipping sauce for your skewers. Remember, add vegetable oil, stir-fry fresh garlic, and then add oyster sauce and stir-fry thoroughly. The fat boss's flesh trembled all over. Ah, big sister, the eternal God. After Chen Ling finished the recipe, she patted the boss on the shoulder and put on the hood again. She followed John Killen step by step and walked out of the restaurant. As soon as they left the restaurant, John Killen reached back and grabbed Chen Ling's hand. The two walked side by side, slowly and leisurely towards the car. Some people were alone in the bleak autumn wind, miserable and confused. Some people held hands in the autumn night, their eyes were flowing, and their hearts were connected. No one spoke. Any language was redundant at this moment. However, just as the two were about to walk to the car, John Killen's cell phone rang. His expression became serious. Chen Ling immediately let go of his hand, and he took out his cell phone. Hello, director, I'm near the police station. I know, okay, I'll be there right away. After hanging up the phone, John Killen apologized and wanted to explain. Chen Ling smiled and put her index finger on his lips. Brother Lan, go ahead. I can go home by myself. John Killen said, but... Chen Ling interrupted him, are you afraid that I will be in danger? Meet criminals. Isn't that a good opportunity to eliminate harm for the people? John Killen frowned slightly. Chen Ling stood on tiptoe, took the initiative to hug him, put her chin on his shoulder, leaned over to his ear and whispered. I'm sorry I heard your call. If you want to find those perverts in South Korea, you can try to find Luz Hixian, his phone number is XXXX, his 3-month-old daughter is a victim. John Killen was shocked before he could feel Chen Ling's embrace. Could it be that, you investigated this matter when you went to Korea this time? Chen Ling's voice became serious, and she lowered her voice. So many babies disappeared inexplicably, and there are continuous death notices. I am a little worried, there are too many crazy people now. For a little bit of profit, people can sell their souls. We are so close to Korea. After seeing this news on the internet, I was a little worried. I didn't expect that they really dared to reach out to China. Brother Lan, this matter is very serious. The other party is cruel and cunning. You must be extremely careful. Chen Ling said it very seriously, and a trace of coldness flashed in John Killen's eyes. Chen Ling let go of John Killen. Go, try the car I modified for you. John Killen nodded. Just for a moment, he would restrain his tenderness just now, and instantly restore his former coldness and depth. Then be careful, I'm leaving. John Killen rubbed Cheng Ling's hair and trotted towards the car. Cheng Ling looked at John Killen's running back proudly. The street lights shone on him, making him look tall and majestic. Just like countless times before, she watched him go to save the people. Look. This is her brother Lan. Whether in the past or now, he is a good man who stands tall and upright. The soul travels through the 18th line. The female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 295. Cheng Ling watched John Killen get into the car from a distance, stretched out an arm from the window and shook it. Cheng Ling smiled sweetly, I'm waiting for you to chase me, brother Lan. The car started and soon drove out of sight. Cheng Ling walked on the street, and people walked by in twos and threes talking and laughing. The girl could also walk alone with confidence. The night in Maple City is peaceful, and people live and work in peace and contentment. People don't know how many heroes stand in the darkness, alert to the evil forces in the darkness, and protect their thousands of lights. They sacrifice their comfortable and enjoyable vacation time, they sacrifice the beautiful moments of family and friends gathering together, and even sacrifice their own lives. But there are many people who have been brainwashed by foreign forces and think that everything in foreign countries is beautiful. The evil organizations in the country of sticks, the magical gender war and black-only theory in the United States, repeated shootings, the mafia, drug-taking, and robbery gangs are active on the streets at night. But some people deny the sacrifice and dedication of the people's heroes. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela said, "If the sky is dark, then live in the dark. If making a sound is dangerous, then remain silent. If you feel that you are unable to shine, then crouch in a corner. But don't defend the darkness when you are used to it, don't defend your own, be complacent, don't mock those who are braver and more passionate than yourself. We can be as humble as dust, but we cannot be twisted like maggots." Cheng Ling's expression became solemn. At first, she just accidentally saw a few pieces of news, saying that ghost babies have appeared frequently in Bangsa country in recent years. A few people reported that they found that many pregnant women in Bangsa country had big bellies and were in labor. Their bellies were deflated, but they did not see the baby. There were also cases where a neighbor's newborn disappeared inexplicably, but there was no funeral at the baby's home, and no sadness was seen on the baby's parents. Some people also called the police saying that their babies had been stolen and robbed. Cheng Ling had been involved in a similar case 10 years ago. In 2002, a large number of babies mysteriously disappeared in Bangsa country. After investigation, it was discovered that behind these missing babies was an evil organization from the Bangsa kingdom called Ming Lamp. This evil organization is good at controlling people's hearts. Many ignorant people in Bangsa country have been brainwashed and donated their money and time. They even organize believers to commit suicide, with the euphemistic name of performing death sacrifices for the gods they serve, hoping to be reborn in a wealthy family in the next life. However, one of the evil group's most heinous crimes is the production of baby capsules. They claim that the capsules made from infants in the first month of life can help users maintain youthful vitality, prolong life, increase a person's resistance and metabolism, aphrodisiac and improve sexual function. This matter has not been mentioned publicly by the Bangsa government for fear of causing a strong negative social impact. In the end, this incident ended with the Bright Light organization being forcibly disbanded and several of its leading organizers imprisoned. The believers and parents of babies involved in buying, selling and killing babies were not punished in any way. A major case ended hastily. And those babies who died tragically, before they had a chance to take a look at the world, became nutritional supplements used by others to maintain their health. No one makes the decision for them. When he first heard about this incident, Cheng Ling lamented the ugliness of human nature and the people's lack of basic knowledge. Want to maintain youthful vitality and delay aging? Very simple. Exercise moderately, refuse irregular eating and sleeping, eat less unhealthy food, and refuse to sit for long periods of time. These are the best ways to extend your life. But people are stupid, lazy, and eager to take shortcuts. Many pseudoscientific organizations are able to capture this mentality and create countless evil things that violate human ethics. Chen Ling doesn't think this organization has completely disappeared. She had a feeling that the Bright Light organization was still there, but it was hidden deeper, its activities more covert, its underground transactions more private, and its followers more loyal. If they accumulate enough strength, they will make a comeback. Therefore, when Chen Ling saw several seemingly random and even false missing babies news on the internet, and these missing babies were in Bangsa country, Chen Ling immediately became alert. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The soul travels through the 18th line. The female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 296. While Chen Ling was in Bangsa country dealing with a severed hand and filming Gigi, he visited a person. This man is Ryu Ji-hyun, the father of a young baby girl. His wife died in childbirth, and he raised his daughter with difficulty but seriousness alone. One day, while pushing his child for a walk in the park, he suddenly felt the urge to go to the toilet. There was no parent-child restroom in the park, and it was inconvenient for him to take his baby girl into the restroom. When he was in a dilemma, he saw an old woman. He often met this old woman in the park, and she would chat with him in a friendly manner and provide him with parenting advice. Ryu Ji-hyun then explained his situation and asked the old lady to help take care of him. He said he could use the toilet quickly. The old lady nodded kindly and reassured him. As a result, when Ryu Ji-hyun came out from the toilet, he discovered that the stroller was still there, but his daughter and grandma were missing. He was so anxious that he asked people when he saw them in the park. A terrible fact emerged. Everyone thought that this old woman was a relative or friend of Ryu Ji-hyun, because this old woman ignored everyone in the park and only showed enthusiasm to Ryu Ji-hyun and his daughter. He was completely targeted. For the next 8 months, Ryu Ji-hyun devoted herself to finding her daughter's whereabouts. He went around the internet to make calls, explaining over and over again that his daughter was being targeted by an organization that specializes in catching children and was looking for opportunities to abduct her. I hope someone can make the decision for him, find his daughter, and punish the criminal. I also hope to alert others. But no one paid any attention to him. At first, people expressed sympathy, but later, people took his crying as a joke. He became Xionglin's wife and people were afraid to avoid her. They even restricted his right to publish information online. Chen Ling changed her appearance, made an appointment with him, gained his trust, and took away some of the materials he had compiled. While visiting the streets of Bangsa country, she discovered that there were many underground midwives in the dark alleys of Bangsa country. The birth rate in Bangsa country has plummeted in recent years, and most of the beds in the maternal and child hospitals are empty. The large number of such midwifery rooms is really strange. After she returned home, she wanted to take the time to investigate this matter. However, just now, Brother Lan received a call from the director. They said that they seized a batch of capsules sold by unknown origin, unknown usage, and unknown sales organization at the customs. And the transaction amount is huge. At present, we can only know that these capsules come from Bangsa country. The man from Bangsa country who was responsible for transporting the capsule found out that the matter was exposed. He actually pulled out the suitcase's lever and slammed into it. One end of the rod passes through the eye and into the brain. The man died at the scene. Babies who disappeared repeatedly, harsh methods, capsules with unknown purposes, the nationality of the person involved. Chen Ling intuitively felt that this was the resurgence of the Bright Light organization. This group of crazy organizations actually dared to go to China's territory to defeat. She would never allow it. Asterisk. Jiangjai study room. Jiang's father said into the phone, "Then I will help you handle the entry application at home, and I will also find someone to assist you over there, Qinjiao, I look forward to your return." After hanging up the phone, Father Zhang breathed a long sigh of relief, leaned back gently on the back of his chair, closed his eyes briefly and rubbed his eyebrows. He is very happy. My wife is coming back. But he was used to keeping his emotions and anger indistinct, and when he opened his eyes again, he had returned to his previous state. Father Zhang glanced at his youngest son. Kiun looked excited. Zhang Kiun couldn't sit still at all and walked around excitedly. He clapped his hands and said, "Dad, call my brother quickly and tell him the good news." Father Zhang picked up the teacup, took a long sip of herbal tea, shook his head and said calmly, "Don't worry, wait until your brother comes home and tell him face to face. It's almost 11 o'clock, and my brother is still working overtime. Isn't this too hard? Does he stay up so late every day?" Zhang Qiun looked at the clock on the wall and asked worriedly. Father Zhang was deeply relieved to hear Zhang Qiun ask this. Not long ago, the two of them were at odds with each other, and neither of them liked the other. In a blink of an eye, the elder brother knows how to be considerate and tolerant of his younger brother, and the younger brother is sensible and knows how to feel sorry for and care about his elder brother. Your brother has been very busy. He has to devote his energy to mailing supplies to your mother, and he is also protecting you secretly, it's just that you don't know. Zhang Qiun was a little ashamed. When chatting with Alexei, he had a glimpse of another world, a world of heroes who were silently guarded. He felt guilty. At this time, the home phone rang. Father Zhang picked up. "Hello. Hello, Chief Zhang. Chief Zhang has received an urgent mission and will leave China tonight to take a special plane to Bangsa country. The director asked me to tell you." "Thank you." Father Zhang thanked him and hung up the phone. He originally wanted Qilan to tell Cheng Ling that his wife was about to return to China. Now, he should tell Cheng Ling himself. This matter is very important to Cheng Ling. As for Qi Lan, let him concentrate on his mission. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 297. The next half-month was calm. During this period, Jiang's father contacted Cheng Ling and told him that Ji Chenjiao was about to return. Cheng Ling smiled calmly, "Thank you, Uncle Jiang, I know. It is difficult to handle the procedures for returning to China for long-term residence. Please hurry up and hope that your family can be reunited soon." Alexei was placed in an orphanage in the suburbs of Fengcheng by Jiang's father. This orphanage is very special. Many children are children of soldiers who died in the war, and these children have no relatives at home. However, Alexei was told that her identity was sensitive and special. Although she was given the status of a legal citizen of China by citing relevant provisions in the plan for the introduction of special overseas talents, the Chinese government would pay special attention to her. The telephone, text message network, people in contact, express delivery received and sent, personal travel, etc., are all subject to strict monitoring. Alexei accepted these conditions without hesitation and moved to the orphanage on the day after signing the agreement. People at this time did not know that this French woman, whose Chinese name was Li Sai, was about to train a large number of outstanding talents for China. These talents will make countless contributions to China in the future. All this is attributed to Alexei's military management, scientific teaching, fair, careful and patient training. Alexei moved out, and Cheng's mother and Cheng Xiaomei were lost for a long time. Later, the two took the initiative to go to the orphanage to find Alexei, bringing countless supplies. And in the past half-month, Zhang Qilan has no news. After all, it is a secret mission. In order to avoid exposing the identity and affecting the progress of the mission, it is strictly forbidden to communicate with anyone privately. Chen-Ling is coding without distraction and writing scripts at the same time. Of course, practicing boxing, fighting, and shooting are all indispensable in daily life. In addition, she has been collecting and organizing the information and chat records in the Shepherd Dog software. Killing Amos is too easy for him. Chen-Ling wants to destroy his evil empire, and then take his life when he finds that everything is irreversible and desperate. Amos is backed by a powerful century-old family. If you want to destroy him, you can't be too anxious. Anxiety makes mistakes. Chen-Ling can't afford any mistakes now. Just when the Fulfilling Wish organization put the severed hand at the front desk of the bar designated by Amos, Chen-Ling's Song of Light and Blood was completed. It was a perfect and satisfying ending. Book fans threw flowers to celebrate. Thanks to Yinga for your company along the way. I rarely follow books. This is the first book I follow. Although the author's updates were unstable in the early stage, they were very powerful in the later stage. I am satisfied. After reading the last line of the novel, I felt that the world was empty. I love the heroine Shaokayu. Shaokayu is my wife. Ah, it's over, in my lifetime. Looking forward to your next book. On that day, Jang Ki-eun did not go on a date with Alexis in order to read the final chapter of Song of Light and Blood. That night, Xinjiao Fengxing Entertainment Company posted a Weibo post. Warmly celebrate the perfect ending of the new book Song of Light and Blood by the author of the Cherry Tomato app, Ying Ji. In addition, a piece of good news was announced. The crew of the TV series Song of Light and Blood, adapted from the same name, is actively recruiting at present. The female lead Ye Shaokayu has locked Chen-Ling. At Chen-Ling, congratulations Chen-Ling. In the near future, the drama will start filming plans. I believe that this drama will meet everyone soon. This Weibo post caused an uproar on the internet. My dog eyes are blinded. Why do you want to hurt my Ye Shaokayu? Don't make a TV series. Just shoot it. Why let Chen-Ling be the female lead? Chen-Ling is fine for getting involved in variety shows, but she actually stretched her dirty hands to Yinga. Ah, Yinga's book, I love it so much. Follow the update every day. Can you please not let Chen-Ling be the heroine? 10,000 people signed a petition in blood, begging Chen-Ling to get out of the Light and Blood crew. This is the first time I heard that the heroine was designated before the crew was assembled. Who is the financial backer behind Chen-Ling? Can Chen-Ling be quiet? I see her jumping around on the internet day after day. Can you let professionals do professional things? I admit that Chen-Ling is very beautiful and has a sense of variety, but acting is really, isn't it okay to be a vase quietly? The soul travels through the 18th line. The female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 298. Of course, there are many voices of support. I am a new fan of Chen-Ling. I urge everyone to watch the impromptu performance with Jang Ki-eun in the wild boar forest in Survival, which is really great. Big Sister did take some detours in the past, but she is really super good now. Please watch the video on my homepage. As long as you know Chen-Ling, you will definitely fall in love with her. At least you will not resist her like you do now. YT Outdoor Sports released Sister Ling's GG. Doesn't it prove that her acting skills are not the same today? After 3 days of separation, you should look at them with new eyes. Actors, can't they improve? Every actor and actress has had a past where their acting skills were immature, right? Then, Jang Ki-eun, Bai Muchuan and Bai Kinkan also made official announcements. Jang Ki-eun, as a die-hard fan of Yinga, I can only say that Big Sister Chen-Ling is the most suitable candidate for this heroine, no one else. Bai Muchuan, support Big Sister without a second thought. I'm putting it here. As long as the Big Sister of this drama doesn't amaze you, I will eat Jang Ki-eun's agent. At Jang Ki-eun's agent Mike. Jang Ki-eun's agent Mike, I support Chen-Ling to play the heroine of Light and Blood. Bai Muchuan, you support it, but why do you have to drag me into it? Bai Muchuan replied to Mike, "Don't worry, my big sister is super powerful and will never let you be eaten by me." Bai Kinkan, Chen Ling, I love you, looking forward to your new work. More and more voices of support appeared. Then, the crew of Light and Blood opened an account on Weibo. The crew of Light and Blood Song, the crew of the TV series Light and Blood Song adapted by Yinga with the same name has been officially established, producer at Gongbaiu, director at Suzhimu, screenwriter at Yinga who wrote the novel, and the heroine at Chen Ling the male lead and other characters are being actively contacted, so stay tuned. It's a luxurious lineup. Gong producer. The latest gold medal producer born in the 1980s in China. She has created one ratings legend after another. The cumulative box office of movies alone is 11 billion. The ratings of several TV series she participated in producing are even more terrifying, and the broadcast volume of each TV series is at the level of 10 billion. It can be said that Gongbaiu's products must be fine. And director Suzhimu, a film and television genius, deserves to be recorded in history. In the film and television market full of quick money-making dramas, director Suzhimu can still stabilize himself. He neither sticks to the highbrow and white snow with his neck, nor bows to the fast food market to make money. He uses his unique shooting techniques and quite tricky character creation forms to create one after another hall-level art of film and television dramas, cultivate one after another excellent actors, and create one after another film and television myths. How many actors are scrambling to join director Suzhimu's crew, even if they are downgraded to play the second, third, and fourth roles, they are willing to do so. First, they hope to show themselves in front of director Su, get familiar with him, and hope for the next cooperation. Second, director Su has a sharp eye and can see the shortcomings of an actor at a glance. One sentence can save an actor from many detours. Therefore, people in the industry jokingly call director Su, one-sentence teacher. And Yinga, a new writer, a masterpiece, is very hidden and has never appeared. The only connection with the world is the reading software Cherry Tomato. He has never opened any social software. He often actively participates in the film and television adaptation of his works through telephone conferences or emails. When Yinga participates in telephone conferences, he uses a deep bass voice changer, so many people naturally think that Yinga is a tough guy with a beard and muscular lumps all over his body. Moreover, Yinga has a special point. First, his own works must be written by himself. Second, the selection of actors must be approved by him. The figure of Yinga appeared in the Weibo of the crew. Yinga quietly opened a Weibo. Fans of the book rushed in. Yinga's first post was to repost the official Weibo of the crew of Light and Blood. Yinga, who writes novels, support / the crew of Song of Light and Blood, has officially announced, director at Suzhimu, screenwriter at Yinga who writes novels, producer at Gongbaiu, heroine at Chen Ling the hero and other characters are being actively contacted, so stay tuned. Fans of the book rushed to leave messages under the reposted Weibo. Big brother, why did Ye Shaokai let Chen Ling play? Big brother, if you are kidnapped, just blink. Big brother Yinga, the heroine in my mind is Miss Sun Kinsi. Please don't choose Chen Ling. Am I the only one who noticed, Big brother Yinga's avatar is a cliff? Is he hinting at something to us? Thank you for giving our big sister a chance, thank you. Thank you Bol Yinga for discovering Chen Ling, this 1,000-mile horse. Believe me, Chen Ling will definitely give you a surprise. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The soul travels through the 18th line, the female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 299. While the online quarrel was going on, Yinga posted another Weibo. Thank you for your attention. As for the casting of this drama, I will participate seriously throughout the whole process. In addition, I would like to make a special statement that the female lead candidate is Chen Ling. I have met her in person personally. I think Chen Ling perfectly fits the image of the female lead of Light and Blood. I look forward to Chen Ling bringing surprises to everyone at Chen Ling. However, the angles of netizens grasping the key points are very tricky. Has Chen Ling met Yinga in person? At Chen Ling, please tell me what Yinga looks like. At Chen Ling, Teacher Chen, tell us whether Yinga's muscles are hard, are they round, flat or square? It turns out that, the author Yinga chose Chen Ling after seeing Chen Ling. This world is dirty. As long as a woman is beautiful and willing to sell, she can get the whole world. The above, I suspect you are implying that Chen Ling sold her body to make Yinga agree to let her play the leading female role. Yinga personally selected Chen Ling as the heroine. I believe in Yinga's judgment, and I hope Chen Ling will not let Yinga down. Until this time, Chen Ling, the central figure in the hot discussion, posted a Weibo. Chen Ling, speak with strength. A very clever pun. This sentence is the central idea of Yinga's novel Song of Light and Blood. Strength is the backbone of the heroine of this novel. Because the heroine of the novel is a woman, people think she can't take on the heavy responsibility. They think that women should stand behind men, stand in the dark, and silently dedicate themselves. They can't replace men's leadership, can't stand in front of men, and can't be stronger than men. So, the heroine was excluded, despised, and misunderstood. The heroine is a person who will grit her teeth and do it as long as I am determined. No matter what kind of suffering she will encounter. She passed behind the men, she stood in the light, and killed her enemies with blood. She completed the two great missions of revival and revenge at the same time. Don't argue with people who oppose you. Speak with strength. After Chen Ling posted on Weibo, she quickly exited the app. She no longer spent time and energy to pay attention to the support and opposition of netizens. With Xinjiao Company, Wang Zhen, the crew, and her father and brother, she only needed to do her job well and didn't need to worry too much about other things. Chen Ling stood up from her computer desk, stretched, and checked the time. It was 10:30 in the morning. It was almost time to leave for the orphanage. She was going to visit Alexei. See how Alexei adapted to her new identity and new life, see if she needed anything, see if she misled the students, and see if she persisted in training. As soon as the car arrived at the orphanage, the children's neat and loud slogans came from the playground in the distance. 1, 2, 1. Chen Ling parked the car outside the orphanage, registered with the security guard, said hello, and walked straight to the playground. The children ran around the playground. Arixai, oh, now she should be called Teacher Lisai. Teacher Lisai dyed her hair black and wore black contact lenses. Now she is an oriental beauty with three-dimensional features, deep eyebrows and eyes, and tall stature. She was dragging a 7 or 8-year-old girl to the playground to give a lecture. Everyone is running, why don't you run? Also, you didn't memorize the geological features I asked you to memorize yesterday, and you didn't practice calligraphy well. I need to know your reason. The little girl cried, I'm tired. Guess if they are tired. But I'm a girl. Arixai said seriously, during the exam, will the school give you extra points because you are a girl? When you are working, will your company pay you more because you are a girl? When you spend money, will the other party give you a discount because you are a girl? Actually, you are a girl. If you want to enjoy an equal life like boys in the future, you have to work harder than boys. The girl whined and said, Teacher Lisai, are you bullying me because I don't have parents? No, in fact, I am training you to protect you. When you become stronger, no one will bully you in the future. Pa pa pa. Chen Ling clapped and walked over. Teacher Li, well said. Strangely, the girl who was about to cry just now stopped crying as soon as she saw Chen Ling, and timidly shouted, Auntie Ling. The soul travels through the 18th line, The female agent is killing crazy in the entertainment. Author, Buletin Yehoyun Li. Chapter 300. What Entling? Call me Teacher Ling, Alexei patted the little girl. The little girl stuck out her tongue. No. I want to call you eldest sister. Hey, you little brat, Alexei glared. Chen Ling didn't care what others called her. She bent down, held the girl's shoulders and asked, "Do you understand what Teacher Li said?" The girl nodded. "Do you really understand?" Chen Ling said seriously. The girl bit her lip and nodded seriously. When the children running on the playground saw Chen Ling, they shouted slogans loudly, and their bodies became straighter than the other. Chen Ling is the super boss in the hearts of these kindergarten children. Privately, they all called Chen Ling eldest sister together with teacher Li Sai. On the first day when Chen Ling arrived at the orphanage, she performed some very fancy skills for the children, such as splitting a watermelon with her hands, climbing stairs with bare hands, and performing continuous somersaults. It just looks very cool and can instantly win the admiration and respect of children. Then, Chen Ling personally cooked a delicious meal for the children. During the cooking process, Chen Ling assigned each child a task within their capabilities, such as selecting vegetables, washing vegetables, chopping vegetables, and decorating the restaurant, so that everyone had a full sense of participation. While eating, they were amazed and proudly said, "I washed this dish, cut this dish, and served this plate." In addition, they all respected and loved teacher Li Sai, who was good and obedient in front of Chen Ling, and they even developed an uncontrollable admiration for Chen Ling. If Chen Ling is willing, she can make the children look up to her like a god. However, Chen Ling would not do this. The skills she demonstrates are skills that children can be trained to do, building their confidence. What she wants is for them to like herself, admire herself, imitate herself, and preferably surpass herself. As for the adoptive father Amos, what he does is to only give the children special limited survival resources, let them fight for them, and then give them materials as a god. Over time, children will become accustomed to obeying their own orders, making them instinctively fear themselves, and then completely control these children. She was also worried that Alexei would repeat these patterns unconsciously. However, after many observations by Qi Ling, he found that Alexei was doing very well. Alexei is a very good teacher who allows every child to feel her love, her patience, and her fairness. Alexei asked the girl to return to the training team, and then said to Chen Ling with a smile, "Sister, do you want to make something delicious today? I'm really hungry for the mutton fried with green onions that you made." Do it, Chen Ling laughed. "Didn't you say you hated eating mutton before?" "That's because the mutton I eat is cooked in weird ways. The mutton cooked by those Egyptians is fishy, rotten, and woody." Chen Ling looked serious. She pointed to Alexei's leg and asked, "How is your wound recovering?" "The scabs are almost falling off," Alexei said. The eldest sister's expression became serious. She guessed that the eldest sister might have something important to tell her. Sure enough, Chen Ling's eyes darkened. The severed hand has arrived at the place designated by Amos. It is estimated that the identity verification will be carried out in the next few days. In the past few days, you should try to stay in the courtyard and not go out. Wait for him to confirm, I will be notified. Just be patient." Alexei nodded. "Besides, Ji Chenjiao is coming back. There is no need to hide your existence from her. You and Zhang Qiun can decide how to tell her. As for my identity, she will also find out. You don't have to do anything, just let everything take its course. In a few days, I will join the crew to film a TV series. But my mobile phone is on 24 hours a day. You know the rules. Contact me anytime if you need it." Alexei replied seriously, "I know, eldest sister." Chen Ling's expression slowed down. "Okay, just these few things, let's go cook." Alexei saw that the mission of the elder sister was clearly explained, and then he showed an expression of admiration. Sister, you are so great. You are actually going to play the heroine of the novel Ying-Ge, it is really a dream connection. Hey, elder sister, you are so great. How on earth did you defeat Shadow Song? Using force. Chen Ling was stunned and then realized that he had never told Alexei that he was writing a novel. Alexei misunderstood Chen Ling's confusion and explained. Oh, Zhang Qiun is a fan of Ying-Ge. He dragged me into this trap. After explaining, Alexei asked with gossip and curiosity, Sister, what kind of person is Shadow Song? Is he a boy or a girl? How old is he?